and read. When somebody says to me, are students engaged? There's about four kind of questions I ask, and three of them are listed up here. First thing, if you're engaged, you're attentive. If I wanted to measure engagement, the first thing I'd look at are people paying attention. That's the old time on task kind of stuff. A kid's engaged. One of the indicators of engagement is attention. But attention is not enough to be engaged. You got to care about what you're attending to. That means you got to care about enough to persist with it when you have difficulty. So another thing I'd want to look at is persistence. Not only do they do the task, but if they don't succeed at it, they come back for more because they find it's so worthwhile to them that they'll stick with it. And so persistence, this is one of the reasons I don't have much for so-called walkthroughs as a way of assessing engagement. You can't measure my persistence by walking through. You can maybe infer that it's like with you sitting there right now. I like to think you're engaged, but you may be fantasizing for all I know. I don't know whether you're with me or whether you're not. But you've got to look in your eye like you're engaged, and I can say, well, these people they're paying attention. I don't know whether you're paying attention or not. I have to infer you're paying attention. But attentiveness is important, and persistence is important. That is, you stick with it over time. Another thing I know about engagement is that when people are engaged, they're willing to allocate the scarce resources over which they have control, primarily their time. If students are engaged, they persist, and they commit voluntarily their time. They do things outside of the requirement because they find it an important thing to do. The critical result of student engagement is students learn that which it is important for them to learn because you get them engaged in the right work. But I've added to that, beyond what we normally have talked about in the past, I've added to that meaning and value. If the work is going to be engaging work, it has to have meaning and value to the student in the terms that the student understands. So what I've just listed for you, when people say, how do I measure engagement? That's the four things you measure. You measure attention. You measure persistence. You measure commitment. And you measure the presence of meaning and value. If the work doesn't produce those four things, then it's not engaging work. Now,